Had a question. If one were to read some classic spiritual books, such as Autobiography of a Yogi or Life and Teachings of the Masters of the Far East, there are references to um, spiritual masters, basically, who, spend many, many years in caves meditating or doing other spiritual practices. But in some cases, these masters attain full enlightenment, and they talk about how they attain something called the light body. And there are stories of them appearing to their disciples in different parts of the world at different times. So it seems to me that fundamentally, I mean, my question to you is, are you teaching people how to attain the light body? Is this fundamentally what your teachings are? Or is there a difference between what these yogis have you're teaching?
It's not a light body. You understand the interaction of the field of the soul of the man. It's a transmutation. I keep on saying what we teach is not exclusivity of Keshe. It's something man knows and is forgotten and really relearns.
So
And
what
on
these
top, additional knowledge.
so fundamentally what these yogis that have done this, they have remembered how to transmute. Is that correct?
No, they have learned how to expand their soul. And then when you expand your soul, you can position it where you like. The expansion of the soul or the release of the soul or freedom of the soul, whatever you call it, comes at the point of when the feel the strength of the body of the man cannot hold, and we call it death. But if you can extend your soul, it's a way we go to, we call it a trance, or what they call scientifically as expansion of the soul, which interacts or the physical body becomes inside it. It can go anywhere. The In a physical life, if you put it one way, we can get blown away or moved from our position by the winds of this planet. If you stand in a strong wind, the wind can move you. In the dimension of the soul, when the soul takes or expands beyond dimension of physicality, the strength of this wish or the wisdom of the man, you call it the wish of the man, the emotion of the man, it can be blown to any point where the soul finds its balance, where it wants to be balanced. This is why some knowledge seekers in transmutation have a problem. They don't go where they want to go, or they go where they want to go and do something with the soul. But they don't realize that when you go, we've done this with a number of knowledge seekers because I always sit and think, and they're on the line, some of them, they can tell you. We ask them to go home and move something. They go home, they move a pot. But when they go home, in a real physical dimension, the pot is not moved. It says something wrong with them, something wrong with it. They haven't learned that when you arrive to the home, you travel by, you have to go back to the dimension of solar physicality, that you can physically move the cup to the new position. It will stay there. You come back, you go back to the strength of the field of the soul, and you come back and you're back with me. And this is the problem with knowledge seekers. But if you know how to master, you can manifest yourself anywhere. When you arrive at the point through the transmutation, when you go home and you move the chair, and then you go home, the chair is not moved. If you say they move, when you tell me, I say, the guy hasn't learned yet. As a wise man, I do not humiliate you. I just keep to myself. This student has not matured yet. You can't give him the mark yet. But if you learn that you transmuted, why you carry on with the energy in that position? You arrive to move a physical matter. You have to become physical to be able to move it.
Mhm.
You understand?
Yeah, that makes sense.
the same thing is with the masters. There's people who do transmute. They know where to manifest themselves in that position. And this, our knowledge seekers haven't learned yet. Gradually, they will learn. The Indians have a beautiful say, and I love to always when it comes to Mrs. Neem Hakim Khatarijan. Half a doctor is a danger to life because he doesn't know he kills the patient. You understand? He knows half of the medicine. And it's what knowledge seekers in last Friday session was partially about this. If you feel good to see the light, and then I brought them back to physicality, took them back to the light, they feel the confidence they can move in this, then I ask them to move to the second light. The first light is usually golden color, like a sun, is the manifestation of physicality. In some cases, we see a light blue color in the soul. That means the human, the person is attached to this earth. It's so physical. Because blue is the sign of the, this is what we know as a blue planet. You understand later on what I mean. And then we ask them this for the second part to go from one light to see if they can find another light. It means they have become so detached that they see the light of the Creator. But again, in that level, the intensity shows how much the further you are, the brighter the light. The closer you are as part, there is no interaction but one. There is no light. When people be asked to go from dimension of the field of the man to the soul, when they speak about the bright light, green, golden light, I saw the sun is blah, blah, it means you haven't understood fully yet, because if you understand the process, that light has to be you, but you feel the emotion of the light. You never see the light. When we ask you to go to the next light and you say, I saw such a bright light, I see the created light. The further you are, the brighter it is, the more you're part of it. There is no interaction, because it's what we spoke with Azar, I think, a few minutes ago. When you bring the balance of the fields, you cannot be seen. How can you see the brightness? When you see nothing in that light, then you become part of the light. Then you come to feel the strength of the Creator.
So,
Let me explain to you something. I've said that before, but now maybe you understand the history of the Keshe Foundation. When I was sat in front of the candle, maybe half a kilo candle, big one, sat against the window, and I was told to look into the light, and the candle flew. I said, I am the light, because I see the light of the Creator. And that was the point where I abandoned physical life, in that point on the spot. And I accepted the mission. You don't need to see, you feel the emotion of the light, and the same to be. And this is where it comes. And all of us have that capability. And that's what I said many times. Feel the emotion of the light. You don't need to see the light. And if you look at the people who wrote, we asked people at the end of the last Friday session to write. If one wrote, she has a beautiful soul. In the first one, I saw the light. In the second one, I felt the light. Means I came in touch with the soul of the Creator. And then it becomes the detachment. But as knowledge seekers, you don't understand what it means. But As a man who understands the process, been through the process, is part of the process, explains where my students are, where your knowledge seekers sit. In detachment, in understanding the field of the creator or field of the man. And when you speak to me, when you write, I've seen such a bright light, I've seen the light. When you see the bright light, you're still confirming physicality. When you feel the light, you become part of the transmutation. Then you understand everything else if you understand that how these people transmute. And you don't do it for magic, you do it for satisfaction of the soul of the man himself and nothing else. People used to go on the donkey and go and see somebody because they wanted to go and see how the next city looks like. Now that donkey is the magnetic field of the universe. How do you want to travel on it?